Well, V8 supercar drivers have headed deep into the South Australian bush, taking their CLIPSAL 500 preparation off-road, and it's downright dirty. The Nissan team's modified its cars and clearly its training regime. Alyssa Smith went along for the ride.
It's a 2-week slide to the start of the V8 racing season. Nissan drivers Rick Kelly and Michael Caruso giving pre-season training a shake-up on Kangaroo Island.
Jumping on the quad bikes through the trees and through the sand was a lot of fun over a lot of rocky terrain.
Once the instructors got a little bit away in the distance, we had a bit of fun. Rick was up on 2 wheels, we're doing donuts, and that was pretty crazy. Well,
sandboarding's a lot of fun. There's a fair bit of work for not a lot of reward at the end of the day.
And a wedge-tailed eagle had the boys out of their comfort zone, especially after Jamie Whincup's encounter with a snake.
Pretty interesting, particularly what's going on reptiles and racing car drivers recently. It's, it's a bit nerve-wracking.
Caruso says Nissan's 2 out of 4 Super Test race victories last weekend gives them confidence heading into the CLIPSAL 500. Kelly's team finished 10th overall last year and is hoping CLIPSAL's race through Adelaide's concrete jungle is a clean one compared to Kangaroo Island's off-road tracks. The man all drivers are looking to beat is 6-time champion Jamie Whincup, and with new look cars and improved aerodynamics, Kelly and Caruso believe that Nissan is a true contender.
Yeah, we can win it. There's no doubt about that. I've won the race before.
Holden driver Tim Slade is back on home soil and says he's more prepared than ever before for a season. Slade says besides Jamie Whincup, he's eyeing off a different competitor.
I don't think you can look past the Triple Eight guys. They've been on top of their game for the last few years.
The Adelaide CLIPSAL 500 will be live and exclusive on 10 from February 27. Alyssa Smith, 10 Eyewitness News.
Good evening, day one of CLIPSAL, and we've already seen some big crashes in practice, but tomorrow is when the V8s come out onto the track, and there's some young guns, pretty cocky at that, who are willing to take on some of the seasoned pros. Alyssa Smith has more.
The V8s are yet to fire up, but there's already plenty of spills on the track.
We just nudged the tyre barrier here.
BOC driver Jason Bright will be looking to avoid that kind of drama after crashing out on turn 1 last year.
Over and up and into the wall.
It made the newsreel and the highlights reel for quite a while, so we got plenty of air out in more ways than one.
The 41-year-old is now the oldest in the series after the retirement of Russell Ingall.
I feel like as long as I can get out there and beat a few young blokes, it'll be a lot of fun.
Ash Walsh and Andre Heimgartner are the 2 new rookies, and Bright has a warning.
Where they are probably the king of the kids in the development series, it ends up a little bit rough out there sometimes with a new bloke.
Obviously, as a young bloke, I met them as a fan, and now I'm meeting them as a competitor. So I think the dynamics changed a lot, and maybe they're not quite as nice to me now as what they were then.
The hype of the season's first race is starting to bring the nerves.
Driving the car is second nature, but then you put a camera in front of the face and you're expected to be professional in that as well. But yeah, it obviously makes it quite nerve-wracking.
At the end of the day, I'm just got to do the same as what I've done my whole sort of career, just drive as fast as I can around in circles.
Last year's CLIPSAL 500 second-place runner, 21-year-old Scott McLaughlin, has just 1 goal.
Now we've just got to go and win the race and celebrate even harder.
But there will be plenty in tomorrow's qualifying, starting with that same dream.
When we qualified, we're separated by like 7/10 from 1st to 25th, so it's pretty close, and it only takes a very small mistake to ruin your weekend.
Alyssa Smith, 10 Eyewitness News.
Good evening. Well, V8 6-time champion Jamie Whincup appears unstoppable after qualifying down here at the CLIPSAL track today. Alyssa Smith has all the highlights.
Jamie Whincup has proved why he's the man to beat on the CLIPSAL track, clean sweeping the qualifying races.
To the top once again. Unbelievable. He's done a 1 minute 20.03. That's actually faster than the lap that he achieved in the previous session.
Very, very nice to come away with the first 2 poles.
But the 6-time champion was off the pace early in his first practice race. Nissan's Rick Kelly instead showing his speed. 21-year-old Scott McLaughlin found form in practice too.
It ends with a 21.38, 100th shy of McLaughlin's best.
The car feels fine. We were fastest one of the practices there, but we just didn't quite get a good run on good tyres just then.
But Whincup was looming.
Here, watch the numbers here, Rusty. How close was Whincup to the exit of 11?
The first qualifier was no fairy tale return for Marcus Ambrose, who finished last.
Picks up the throttle and it lights up nice and straight. Good power down. Does he move the marker? He's top of the pile at the moment.
Scott McLaughlin finished second, with James Courtney in third.
Now, forget about the mid to high 30 degrees in temperature that we reached today. Inside here, it reaches up to 60 degrees. Now, when that's coupled with what the drivers have to wear, that's a hard day's work at the office.
A small price to pay for pole tomorrow. Drivers will face 2 125-kilometre races tomorrow. Alyssa Smith, 10 Eyewitness News.